Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Tuesday the 14th of July 2007. And as we all expected, there's the possibility of a Greek deal being done. And this was reflected in yesterday's price chart, where you see the market gapping down from the Friday close. You can see there's a gap down, which you always expect, 130 points. And then you see the market turning around and moving back to the upside. And by the time we get to the opening session, we can see that the market's up by 267 points. This is when the Greek deal was announced. You can see the market there moving up 100 points or more in a matter of minutes, and then the market then just drifting all the way back to the upside towards the afternoon session there, or the opening of the Dow, morning time New York, of course. So at 2:30 we get a potential PTI signal. This one I wouldn't normally trade, but given the circumstances and the backdrop that the market's gapped down and then started to move higher, there is an exception to every rule, and this would be the case because of what you've got in the background. This market was only going one way yesterday, and that was to the upside because of this deal being done. It's relief for the markets, it's a relief for the central bankers, and it's a relief for the bankers as well because of the knock-on effect in the derivatives market. Had Greece have said we're not going to agree to this deal, which for the life of me I cannot understand why they have done, at 86 billion alone, and they've already missed another payment of 450 million yesterday. Increases in VAT, cuts to pensions. And what I find amazing is the rhetoric from people saying, well, you know, they should pay this money back and all the rest of it, and they can't handle money and so on and so forth, and they don't pay tax and they don't do the other. What people forget is before they joined the euro, they had a thriving economy. There wasn't really a problem. It's only since they joined the euro and all of this money was given by the banks and other countries and loaned to make things so-called better, that this problem has arisen. The money was thrown at them, they've used it, they've spent it. All governments are corrupt, and no more so than what we've seen here with all of the spending. No doubt there's been a huge investment in a lot of politicians' pockets throughout the years in Greece, as there is in every other country in the world. And now the poor people of Greece have got to take a cut in pensions, and also an increase in VAT, which it always affects those at the bottom, the people. And so the bankers win again. They're going to lend 86 billion is the proposal, of which it's all got to be paid back, which is astonishing. So, you know, your credit card's up to the max, but here you go, here's another 86 billion limit. We want it back, but in order to satisfy the rules, we're going to force you to sell off all of your public assets. We're going to have the money from that, thank you very much, and then we're going to want the money back with interest, plus what you already owe us, of course. So the 86 billion, if you give us 16 billion back plus the 450 million that we are due yesterday, that'll be great, thanks very much. But at the end of the day, it's people's lives that are affected here, and they were not affected when they were not in the euro. And as I've said all along, they should get out of it, just like Iceland failed to pay, or refused, not failed, refused to pay the banking debts over in Iceland, and now they have an economy that has done really well since that day as well. Slightly different, of course, because they're not part of the eurozone. But even so, you can see a massive difference over there compared to what the Greeks have got to do. So they should say to the banks, no, enough is enough, the people have suffered enough, and we're out of here. You lent us the money, corrupt politicians, they spent the money, but it's the people that are suffering, not the politicians or the bankers. But enough of the soapbox there. It just irritates me, as you can probably guess, that it's always those at the bottom that end up having to pay for it. Whilst if Spiros clears off, which no doubt he will have to, having agreed to this, when even on the no vote, he then goes and puts them in a far worse position after that. I mean, it just gives them a get out of jail card free, saying, well, the people voted, yes, they voted no to the proposal, so now you've gone back and negotiated something else as well. But there you go. So back to the markets. We see the markets moving higher. no surprise really. And then as we go into the quieter session, markets drifting back. The market isn't going to sell off when you've got this in the background. It's going to be used by certainly the US government, not the US government, sorry, the US traders to move the market back to the upside, which is where they need it, because it is a Ponzi scheme, as I keep saying as well. There's a lot of risk in this market to the downside, as we saw with China last week as well, and that, of course, since the government stepped in and manipulated the market by stopping short sales, brokerages having to buy stocks up to if they hold a certain amount, defer of selling stocks for 6 months as well, which is absolute insanity. It's not a free market, it's one that is manipulated. So again, the same thing with the Dow. It's being held up whilst all of this is going on, as we'll see in the daily chart. You can see there the market gapping down. We've had 2 weeks where it's gapped down, and then yesterday we get the gap down again, and now the market driving higher. There's no buying in this market. This market is just being moved back to the upside. But one thing's for certain, as we go forward and we forget about Greece, as we always do, then you'll see the market move sideways more so than to the upside, sideways to lower, as the market really sinks in that they're never going to be able to pay this lot back either, as they didn't from the restructuring in 2012 when they had an 87% haircut on the debt. None of this has been offered to the Greeks. They've just been offered emergency funding to keep them going so that the whole Ponzi scheme can be kept intact. So we're seeing the market in the daily chart move up, and again, no professional buying, just marked up. Bit of weakness here on the overnight, so it's over to America now to see whether Yellen's going to increase interest rates. And again, she was talking about this in Friday when she was in Cleveland, that she's still going to put up interest rates. But I'll tell you now, if she does, then you're going to see this market not move to the upside. It will initially, but thereafter you will see a reversal in the stock markets, because they want to get out of the monetizing of debt, which they can't. It's impossible to do now. They're on a road to nowhere with it until the whole thing becomes untenable there. So we'll have to wait and see whether she does this in September. I very much doubt it myself, but never say never. On the economic news front today, let's see if we've got anything at 3 p.m. We've got business inventories out. They show a small drop, and then MPC member Miles from the UK is coming out. They're wheeling him out to obviously buoy the market up as well with his rhetoric at 6 p.m. And finally, on the implied volatility, 1439 for Friday. This will have dropped as the market moved higher yesterday. 1251, big drop off in the implied there. As the market moves higher, the risk has now gone for the option seller, so the risk element, the implied volatility, is being marked down there, so the market coming back down to normal levels for the implied volatility. Right, that's it from me for today. I will see you in tomorrow's market alert. Let's see how the markets get on today, see if they can push higher. Very much doubt it. And hopefully there are a few trades in the same direction, i.e. to the downside, if the market does move lower today. Okay, see you in tomorrow's edition. As ever, thanks for your support and also for watching.